What up, my man of society? It is your host with the most, Shadowloke, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and are subscribed to the channel. It's absolutely free. You'll help my channel get into the algorithm. I highly appreciate it if you go ahead and do that. Now, what I wanted to talk about was the Jake Paul and Nate Diaz fight that happened yesterday, right? Which I won money on, right? Because I had my money on Jake Paul, right? Now, why did I have my money on Jake Paul? One, and the most important reason of all is that Nate Diaz is a UFC fighter, right? So, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu and he's mixed martial arts, right? So now he's going into a boxing event, right? With not that much time of advance, right? To prepare, train, because UFC is completely different from boxing, right? Boxing lasts longer, so therefore your stamina, runs out faster, Not only that, you have to now mentally prepare yourself, because you can't use grapples or takedowns or your legs. So you have to train your body, because I'm pretty sure, he's already used to, the UFC type of fighting, right? So now he has to train his mind to, understand that he can't use grapples and, you know what I mean? So he has to keep himself on check. So that already that he has to do that mentally is going to take a toll, and it's going to, is going to be a backstep for him, right? It's going to be kind of like a weakness, right? Having to do that, right? While Jake Paul, he's taking boxing seriously. I don't understand why Jake Paul can't win or why this is such a big deal. Jake Paul, I get it. He was a YouTuber, but he's been taking boxing seriously. He actually trains and prepares for the boxing events. He actually, puts in the work and effort. So, if he's dedicated, then why is it so hard to believe that he can succeed in boxing? That makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, if he's actually, training and, has been boxing, then why is this so, hard to believe? And I get it. People say, oh, he fights nothing but old people and this, and that. All very true, but there's still W's, right? Because they still challenged him to a boxing fight, right? And he actually, takes the time to actually prepare himself, for these events, right? I mean, these are the events that are getting thrown together. It's not like, some young guys coming out and calling him out, right? So I don't see what the big deal is. Why can't he succeed, and why is it so hard to believe? Why is it so hard to believe that a YouTuber could actually box in general? That's retarded. Like, why? Because of his comedy videos that he did before, because he's like goofy and stuff like that, and that means he can't fight? That's a problem, that society thinks that somebody, just because, they're, jolly or, whatever, that they can't fight. You know what I mean? People always think that these guys have to be like all serious and tattooed and acting all tough, that those are the real killers and fighters, when that's not how the game works, bro. You know what I mean? People like that are soft as hell, bro. That's why they gotta look all intimidating, because they don't want you actually pressing on them, because they know if you press on them, they're gonna fold like a napkin, bro. While somebody, who doesn't really care what people think, if people think you saw, hey, homie, then you can come and let him know, or you could try to punk them or see, and then you'll really find out what people are made out of. They're not afraid to get challenged, or people questioning them, because they could just handle business. So therefore, it ain't nothing to them, right? So this whole illusion that people think what true tough guys are, gangsters, or all this and that is ridiculous, That's how you know that people are not from the streets and they don't know absolutely how to, tell the difference. Because I see that happen a lot right here on the internet, bro. They think that the guys that are all talking shit and tough and all tattooed and all this, that those are the real gangsters, when those fools are soft as hell. And time after time, has it not came that they've been exposed and proven to be soft, bro? Time and time and time. How many people have, gone through that list already? A lot. And see that they all have the same shit in common. They all talk shit. They're all tattooed and everything and try to act like they know what tough is. Bro, follow the pattern. You know what I mean? So when people think that, that this is so hard to believe, it's like, why? He takes his stuff seriously. And another thing is, on top of that, is that he was looking to redeem himself from the first loss, right? So the hunger, the passion, you know what I mean? That I'm not going to lose again. This time, it's going to go. The first time was probably ego and cockiness, you know what I mean? Got to his head, and he was humbled, you know what I mean? He was humbled, and now he's got to take it serious. Well, Nate Diaz was probably like, this YouTuber, man, I don't got to prepare myself for this fight. I don't got to train for this fight, bro. This is Jake Paul, dog. This for the YouTuber, man. This guy, I don't got to be taking this fool seriously, man. I'm gonna devour this guy. He probably seen him like that because he probably sees what the internet says and what a lot of people say, So he's like, I'll train tomorrow. I only need one day of training for this guy, and that's what happens, bro. One was more hungrier than the other. That's from what I was seeing in the fight. That's what it looked like. One was more hungrier than the other. You know what I mean? One took it more seriously than the other, right? This ain't nothing to Nate Diaz, bro. You know what I mean? And like I said, all great fighters lose fights, bro. It happens, bro. It happens. I think it's absolutely mind-baffling when people think just because somebody loses a fight that they can't fight or that they're soft and now that they're washed up. When it's like, bro, shut the hell up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, bro. A fight is, about strategy and stuff like that, and anything could happen in a fight, bro. You don't know how your body's going to react to any type of contact that it receives from anybody, female, kid, animal, whatever, bro. You don't know how your body will react, bro, if it gets hit in a certain angle or and it could just turn your lights out, bro. And it's not like you could prevent yourself from that happening. Your body's going to tell you what's cracking, not you telling your body. Our body controls us. We don't control our body. Right? So anything could happen in a fight. So, it's always a gamble. You know what I mean? Obviously, skills does play a big factor. You know what I mean? But even skills, because sometimes, you've seen these fights that have been, like the Buster Douglas and the Tyson fight. And that's not the only fight. There's been several others. But, where like, miracles happen, you know what I mean? Because, like I said, bro, anything could happen in a fight. So, I made a nice amount of money on Jake Paul because, people really thought that he was going to lose, and just going based off of the human psychology of things, that's what I literally based my whole betting on this whole entire fight, just the psychology behind the events, right? Just watching the interviews of these individuals and how they prepare for the fight and how they seen the fight in general, right? And what I have known already from the background, that it's safe to put my money on Jake Paul, and luckily it paid off. When they say that you literally use psychology to read scenarios, they ain't playing. That's real talk. Educate yourself, right? Knowledge is power, bro. That's real talk. But overall, that's just my thoughts on the whole entire matter. And I seen that, from a wild situation that, I don't know if the Fools community put the whole, because he's from Stockton, the whole Norte is upset now. And what the hell does this fight have to do with North and South? Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all, bro. So I don't understand when people always try to make, Lakers versus Kings or Dodgers versus Giants and, this rapper, that rapper. They try to throw in the North and South into the equation. Like, stop doing that, all right? Sports and entertainment had nothing to do with no North and South, no W's, no not. Get off the internet. These wannabe gangsters are so funny. It's crazy. These are just athletes, putting on a spectacle, bro. Has nothing to do with no North and South. But overall, that's my opinion. Leave your opinions in the comments. Shadow, we out.